Good evening, everyone. It is March 15th, 2019, and we're going to talk about what I think is price manipulation again on Binance at the end of this episode. But before we get there, cut the music. Before we get there to talk about price manipulation again on Binance and what I think is going on and what you can do to protect yourself, let's quickly go through the disclaimer and say nothing here is financial trading advice. Be sure to read the disclaimer in the description below. Now we can jump ahead and take a look at what's going on right now in Litecoin. Huge spot to move this candle up, that spot right there. Really important triangle that Ethereum has broken out of. Bitcoin is right at the edge of taking off out of some really key support and resistance areas. It's an awesome moment to be watching the charts. Look at that pattern. This one is huge. Let me see how this looks on the screen. Okay, look at this pattern. You are here. We are at the most amazing time, the most amazing opportunity since never before have we had an opportunity like this in cryptocurrencies. What is going to unfold here is going to be the most stupendous thing that we have ever witnessed. And it's so fantastic that we happened to kick on a live stream with the breakout actually happening. I was pointing out this ascending wedge triangle here in Litecoin. Another stage up, an ascending wedge triangle, another ascending wedge, another ascending wedge, and I posted this in our Discord chat, pointing out, look, it was either going to really come way back, or we're going up to the moon. And with everything else making the bottom formations they are, I'm betting on the moon. For most all of these things, we're just about to go through some huge moves to the upside. All right, now let me check the chat here. We got Old Scott, good to see you. Hi there. JC Denton, good to see you. Let me know if the sound is good and anything's missing out. Now, on a daily basis, we go through all of the cryptocurrencies on Poloniex. We do go through all of the cryptocurrencies on Binance as well, but that is a different service and it's a lot more detailed. So we'll look at some Binance coins at the end because we study them all the time. But for the free show, we look at everything on Poloniex and then we grade all of them so that we have yellow is alert, green is a hold, something we would be wanting to purchase and keep a hold of. Blue is a cold fish, something that is topping out and coming down. And we're going to look for those now. Orange and red are things that are failing and near failing and going down. Those would be top formations where we're looking to sell and go short. Neutral is something that's in between the bottom formation, all taking off. Hey, AOL Chandra, good to have you here. And Viva Mexico, good to have you along as well. I'm glad the sound is working well. I finally got the settings correct. It's a pretty cool microphone, lots of different settings. So now, yesterday, like we're at almost the highlight of everything turning green and nothing was red and orange. So as we go through the whole sequence here tonight, I'm expecting to see a lot more of the same as of what we saw. Now the trick is to be watching where to sell out. One of the things that most of the people who have joined our course in our Discord community and people who have been members of our forum and all sorts of things, many people talk about selling out is the most difficult part of trading. You can find these bottom formations, but to trust that it's a top formation and get out is the hardest things. And we're going to watch for them now like crazy, just like we watched for these bottom formations for the last how many months. Now we're going to start hunting for top formations. As soon as they break these bottom formations, we're hunting for top formations. So all the way along here as Litecoin was going up, I was calling for top formations. As they came to these consolidations right at the point here, they're just logical places for it to be a top formation. So we'll watch what Bitcoin and Litecoin and Ethereum are doing now as they're taking off. Let's open this up. Zoom in on Bitcoin. This is the 4-hour bar. Let's go to the 5-minute bar. So we're getting some nice candlestick of volume coming in right there. These are going to be amazing days in the cryptocurrencies. All right, Ardor, of course, is a hold. I'll zoom out on Ardor. So we get the long-term chart of Ardor. We can see the bottom formation right here. The consolidation, big triangle consolidation. It came to a point and broke above it, retested that point, and then it blasted. It came back and retested the main 1, 2, 3 bottom. And now we're showing strength. So now if I zoom into the last week, you can see where this price came down and retested these levels. And now it's starting to show strength. So anything above this level is the add-on for the original trade that we were watching for. If you had purchased in any part of this early part and you were holding, now you've been proven correct. This is the place to consider adding on because it's high enough above your entry that it could come down and you could get out of both of them and be at 0. So this is the stages of building a full trade with the minimum amount of risk as you're getting into the trade. And then you take note of that in your trading journal and then see how it turns out after a while to see, is this really the best time to add on already? Or we'll see later if it was maybe have been better to have waited a while to add on. We'll see. Atom BTC is a brand new one here. I never saw it. Not loading up. We'll come back to it. Oh, okay. Now we're hunting for top formations. It's a bias. When it's coming down, we're hunting for bottom formations. So we're always looking now for the highest price in the recent move upward. Then we're looking for a failed retest. We've got this double bottom here, and because it's in the middle, we've got sort of a not confirmed yet either way on the 1-hour bar, 4-hour bar. Okay, the moving averages haven't crossed over, so even on the 4-hour bar, it's not telling us to get out yet. It's just going sideways, but we're watching for a top formation. So a break above or a break below these levels might indeed make these moving averages cross over, and that would be our get out point. And so we're already watching for that. As prices were positive in this, we have a hold. Now we're watching for when do we get out, when do we get out, when do we get out. So it's still a hold, not a cold fish yet. I'll skip around here. BNT, similar idea that now that it's consolidated back here, we would consider this a springboard entry on strength just because of the recent updates in this project. It's got all sorts of things going to it, but this formation would be a buy signal above, let's see what, yeah, above these levels. You could start off with a small part of your position. But for this basic, it's just a hold. I keep forgetting this is not trying to set up a trade signal. It's just looking for the bearish bullishness of it. BCH ABC, that's green right off the bat. So it has blasted off quite significantly before Bitcoin has taken off above these levels. So to see that is just so great. So great that we've been studying this. Here's another one that you could jump into now because everything else is going. This hasn't. It could be the next one to go. BCN, I'll bet you it's going. Indeed it is. So I'm going to mark this as green as well. Oh, we did yesterday too. So Bitcoin, was it a hold yesterday? It was just a hold yesterday. BAT is a forever coin, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin. And you know, I think Bancor Network Token as well KuCoin over on KuCoin. What's the other one? There's another one as we go along that is similar, and that is a utility token, sort of like Binance Coin. All right, I can't keep two conversations going in my head at the same time. It just isn't room for it. Clear this. We're looking at Bitcoin now, and I want to go out to the 3-month view. Of course, I'm going to mark this as green, as a hold in our spreadsheet now. We'll see if this turns into a cold fish. If it starts to break down from here and we have a fake out breakout and it gets crashed down immediately after that and it gets rejected, then we'll be watching for a cold fish right away. And if we are watching for one, you know, like I said the other day, any 6th grade school crossing guard will tell you to look both ways before you cross the street. It's just like basic knowledge because it'll save your life. Same thing with look both ways when you're trading because it'll save your money. So if we are looking for what's it going to do if it goes up, then we have to look for what's it going to do if it goes down. So I have our general trend line up, and breaks below these levels here would be really important. It would be a little 1, 2, 3 top formation in here. This would be our number 1 point. This would be our number 2. This would be our number 3. If it was to turn around and break below this level, this is our emergency breaks spot right there, and probably a spot to go short. If it starts to dive right there, there might be an argument to start building a short position, considering that it may take a nap down to further. So let's see what goes on with Bitcoin over the next few days. Tune into the other channel and we'll check out Bitcoin in the morning. BitShares. Get back to BitShares. Now I'm set up. So BitShares in the 4-hour, BitShares in the 1 day. We can see a big bowl shape, beautiful trading volume going on here. A nice accumulation. Hey, Lemar, good to have you here. Yeah, BCN is a hold. Yeah, hold BCN for now. But get ready. It's going to spike, and it won't do it on schedule. Now, BitShares is already a hold in our sheet, and it certainly goes on to a hold again. It's making a fantastic consolidation pattern, but is it about to go straight up from here, or is it about to correct for a bit and then go sideways? Is it done the cup with handle completely? Is this the cup with handle and now we're going up from here? Or is this the cup and we're just about to get a handle? So I don't know, but it's marked as a hold. Burst. Wow. Okay, I was expecting more from that actually. I was waiting. I'm going to put this neutral, and now it'll jump up because I've branded it neutral. Clam. This one I'm going to leave it as a hold, and as we go through this day after day and we're watching this unfold to find out when should we officially get out of a trade like this. If we were trading perhaps like GBU Wally's bots, and we said, I'm not going to get out until these two moving averages cross over on the 1 day. Well, no, on the 12-hour bar. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we'll see when these two moving averages cross over on the 12-hour bar. That means it's going to give it some range to move around a while so that we're in it for a longer time, and we hope to catch the biggest of all the big moves, and we'll stay in it long enough for that. Another option is that we're going to watch for the 4-hour bar moving average crossover. And we're going to see if that might be a better time to have gotten out of these trades as they are going up and up and up and up and up. We'll keep watching for these trend lines now. Just as we watch the downtrend lines as prices are going down, we're watching for the bottom formation. Now that it's going up and we can make a trend line, we're watching for the top formation. We're watching for the 1, 2, 3 top formation. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. But the thing is, top formations happen at a different pace and speed than a bottom formation. So you've got to be a bit more nimble What are we looking at? Clam, still a hold. A little bit of a long explanation there. Not uncharacteristic. All right, just beautiful hold. Really huge, big bowl-shaped pattern. And I think it's not done going. We're going to get some big candles. Some big wicks. Dash. Well, I can say dash, decreed. Wait, no, we can just go flick, bang. Yeah, this is still a hold. It's still a hold, and it's staging to go up. We got another bull flag. It goes up. We got a bull flag. It comes up. It's got a bull flag, and it's going to make a much larger move off of one of these bull flags, and it's going to have some volume. Like, look, okay. Look at the volume we have here. This is, pretty nice volume, pretty nice. Look at this big candle as it goes up. This is impressive day of volume. This is a good day of volume as we have this nice candle day upside, and it is relative to what we're seeing in the past here. But when we start to zoom out, our volume today is nothing. Let me turn all this other stuff off. Off, 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 off. And just the volume here now. Drag this over. We got nothing for volume going on compared to what we did in 2007. So our bull market hasn't started to begin yet. We're going to see stages and then stages. There's our 200 period moving average. There's our 60-20 exponential moving averages. So you can see these building up to crossover. We don't even need the chart, right? We don't even need the chart to say this is big. Then put the chart in. And put Bitcoin in the background. Dash. Of course, it's a hold. Decreed. It continues to be a hold too. It came down, made a tightening wedge, and then broke out. It's not a nice 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, but it's still bullish. What is done there. Digibyte, this is, I love this one, of course. We watched this one to consolidate and called it so close, and bang, it's just been fantastic. And this is one of those things that you would make the call on it. Once you're right, there's nothing to do but continue to watch it. I'm watching to see what's going on in Doge. It's an alert right now, and I am watching it. And watching one of my monitors is always watching the bid-ask spread on Doge. So we can see we've got buy orders, 30 Bitcoin of buy orders at 51 Satoshi, and then we have 8 Bitcoin of sell orders at 52. So we've got quite a bit more buying power right below the market than we have selling power right above. But I love Dogecoin because you can do a $10,000 trade and not move the market 1 Satoshi, which is awesome. And Olscott asks, are you seeing a lot of EMA crosses on the 217? There are a lot of EMA crossovers. There are, and almost all these markets that are showing us green are showing exponential moving average crossovers. All right. This one is going up. It appears to be going up. I like this consolidation formation, and as it's breaking above, that's a place where I would say to do something. Do you have a ultra long portfolio as well as? Yes. No, not that long. So I do have some in cold storage, paper wallets, in the safety deposit box, in the bank. So I don't have the private keys anywhere. We have to actually go into the bank, get the safety deposit box, open it up, scan those things, and then we can access. And I do take some of my profits from a trade, and I'll take a percentage of my profits and I send it to that wallet, and it stays there. And I just keep accumulating that. So yes, there is a super long-term stuff that doesn't have bottom or top formation because we haven't seen the beginning of it. I'm looking for 8, 10, 12 years from now where we haven't seen the beginning of it. And then I've got a longer term portfolio that I watch for top formations, but it's really long term. We're looking 12 to 18 months away for those ones. So EOS remains a hold. And then I've got a larger trading portfolio that I do margin trading on. Ethereum Classic is still an alert. I'll put it as a hold soon. 3 month. So the moving averages haven't crossed over yet. A little break above these levels and it's going to go. It'll be a hold in no time. Ethereum, I'm going to mark it as a hold on it. The chart hasn't even moved up yet, but this formation is insane. It's insane. This is going to go. I'm going to zoom out to the 5-year view. So we're looking at the weekly, and I'm anticipating, and I'm expecting, and I'm predicting some pretty good moves here. We're going to see quadruple the price of what it is right now out of these formations over the next while. It's not going to be a straight up arrow like mine, but we're going to see quadruple the price. So purchasing that now is not a bad idea. So there's Bitcoin price right now, looking at the 5 minutes. So we've got some good volume coming in. Zoom back out. Let's take a look at Ethereum is also showing us some good volume coming in. I'm going to bring this into the 5-minute bars. Wow. A nice candle of volume. Really cleaned up. Anything that was supply above the market there has just been scooped up. So now if you're going to put on a leveraged position, it's going to be a lot harder. There's no supply. It's been scooped. How about Litecoin? Let's zoom into the 5-minute bar here. Oh yeah. We're seeing something going on here. I love it. Now, let's get some Stellar moving. Double check my screen that you're looking at the same thing I'm looking at. That's good. Factum. I feel like a woman in a shoe store. So many great coins. I wish I could buy them all. Yes, indeed. I hear you there. I hear you there for sure. All right, here. What is this now? The weekly view of. This is the weekly view of Factum. I haven't looked at this in a long time, but really we are just at the beginning of the next wave up, and this is going to also be going 5 times up in value, 5 times from where we are now. We haven't seen a stage build like this ever in the whole history of it, that we've got this much time and pressure built up on this. There. Oh yeah. Let's zoom in. So on the 4-hour bar, it's actually still not quite a buy. I'm gonna say it is a hold, just because of the bullishness of it, and it's time. Foam. All right, that's a hold. You can just see the pattern now. I don't have to point it out to you again. It's just game. And this is what we're doing this day after day after day for, so that these patterns start to stick out when you see these things, no matter where you're looking, if it's on Binance or if it's on, Bitfinex or what's some other ones, a whole bunch, all these other Bittrex, and no matter where you're looking, when you're starting to see these patterns at the bottom formation, it's going to trigger something in your brain. You're going to recognize it, and you're going to know that money works for you. You can make money work for you. You can recognize these opportunities. This is how money is grown. This is how money is made. Money is not grown on trees. It is grown on charts with a plan at a specific time, and it's not always, but there is a time. And when there is a time, it is time to make hay. It really makes it, there's a lot of money to be made in a short period of time when it is time. So we are in such a fortunate period of time right now to be here ready for this. This is marked as a hold, but really it should just be an alert today, just because it's pulled back a little bit. It's got to break back above these levels to turn back into a hold. Beautiful chart, just fantastic. It's going to go up. If I was trading it, I wouldn't be jumping in and out, but just for this index, we can do that. Wow, look at those pre-pump candles of buying. That is an alert. GNT, massive accumulation going on here, and they're just not kidding around. Like, this is a lot of money's being moved into these markets. And we can see it. We can coattail it. We can do it with $5, with $50. We can just put a little bit in here, and when it goes up, we can take that profit. We can make that into $100, and then do it again, make it into and do it again, and just keep at this over and over and over again. The larger it gets, pretty soon. I tell the story as we go on to Hunter Coin here. Grin, I just got to look at it because it's going down so badly. Do I record when I open live trades too? I do share some of my trades in the in our trading alerts program and in our trading live trading community. People have the lifetime membership for having taken our course. So I only share my live trades for people who have gone through the whole course, they're taking the alerts program so that you understand all of the reasoning behind every stage of the trade. Then you understand what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. Just to take my trading signal without all that perspective is like trying to merge into a freeway just because I did, and you don't actually look at the traffic before you merge in yourself. You're driving your car. It's not the same as when I merged into traffic. You've got to, reevaluate everything. So you have to know how to drive a car before you're going to be following me, if you get the analogy. So Hunter Coin has got the great pre-pump candles. It's pulled back a little bit, but we'll mark it as a hold. And I had another analogy I was wanting to share today. Back in 2015, I was trading, and we had some of these markets that made some moves like this, and they were not extended long moves, but they made a big move up. I was able to sell out, buy something else. Carbon Network token is a hold. This is the one, Old Scott. Carbon Network token is another one that's going to be a really long-term hold, like Binance coin, and it's going to be something enormous. So anyway, in 2015, I was trading, and I didn't have very much cryptocurrency money, maybe $500 at the time. And I was doing a trade, and I turned 50 cents into $5. And I was ecstatic. When I went out that night, I was meeting some friends, and I told a friend of mine, look at this as a hold. Wow, what a chart. I told a friend of mine, I just turned 50 cents into $5. I was so ecstatic, I just 10 times my money. But he didn't get it. He says, that's awesome. Now you can buy me a beer. And I was going, yes, I can. That'd be awesome. But he really didn't get it, of how powerful that is. And of course, I took that $5 and I turned it into 25, and then I continued to trade it and trade it and trade it, and I kept building it up. Oh, I missed one. LPT. This is huge buying volume. Whatever this is, it's going up. Having $5 of this would be a good idea. Lisk. And so if you're just starting out in trading and you're watching along these videos because you're wanting to learn, and you're not buying courses because that would take up your trading capital, wow. Then console yourself and encourage yourself that that's how I started out. Where 50 cents turned into $5 was, I knew the potential of what that was, because I knew I could take $1,000 and turn it into 10,000. Now we're talking some lunch money. Now this, I don't know where this is going to go. It's another example of Add on to your positions when you're proven correct, and then let the market tell you how correct you are. Especially these days in cryptocurrencies, we have no idea what's coming, and it's going to be blowing us all away. So let's really watch these 12-hour, pardon me. Let's really watch these 12-hour moving averages crossovers and the 4-hour bar moving average crossovers to see when should we be getting out. In and out on the 4-hour moving average crossover. The 12-hour moving average crossover got us in and kept us in the whole time. So it's not a jump in and out campaign, but it keeps you in for these big moves. We'll observe this as time goes along. I love it. This is such an awesome hobby. Now, or a profession, I guess. This is what I do. Anyway, it's not work when it feels like fun. Double bottom here, consolidating. You know I'm nuts about this project. I'm nuts about this chart, but you're going to have to be a real patient person right now for it. So I'll put this as neutral, but it is still one of my larger holdings. And of course, you should have seen how big it was back here. Mana, green, going up. Oh, and really consolidating to an upward ascending triangle right now. So this one should be like a hold, but it should be an alert or a double hold or something like that because of what it's doing in this chart formation. Remember how we saw Litecoin staging up on these ascending triangles, and then a large move, and then an ascending triangle, and then a large move. So if you're finding some good trades here and you're finding some good, it's awesome, any good, and you haven't subscribed yet, if you're one of the 55% of people who watch this and haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button right now and then click the little icon beside it so that you get the alerts. If you have already subscribed, yeah, you know it, hit that thumbs up button. Look at Bitcoin taking off in the background. I love that when I'm scanning the charts and I can just continually watch what Bitcoin is doing. Navcoin, of course, is a hold. It's a little bit volatile now, but we got into it out of this little wee triangle right here, and we are laughing. We can just leave our stop loss above our entry and do nothing. Namecoin, I don't know what it's doing. I'm just going to, we're going to watch the moving averages on this one. Where is the 12-hour bars? All right, so we did get a cold fish order right here, and we're watching for it again now, but until then it remains a hold, and we'll continue watching those. NXT we had marked as a hold the last couple days because it's doing the trading pattern. It does the 1 2 3 bottom. It's broken the downtrend line. The moving averages have crossed over. There's volume coming in. Okay, I don't know, I just do it, and if it's above my stop loss, I put the stop, if prices are above my entry, I put my stop above my entry, and hands free. Hey, Sin Crypto, good to have you here. OMG, I just love the name of this coin. Of course, it's a phenomenal breakout here that we caught 2 days ago. Were you here 2 days ago to catch this? Are you looking for these kind of trades? If this trade would have helped you, then memorize that pattern. Take a piece of paper and write it down. Scribble it out. Memorize this pattern. Look back at this moment because this is going to be going up considerably from here. And like memorize these patterns. These patterns were known before these markets came down to these patterns. And actually, I do have a, where is it? No, okay, I don't have it. Never mind. I'll talk about it later. We have a little 1 2 3 bottom formation, and it's breaking out of that. So Pascal is already a hold, and this has come down to a large triangle and then made a little 1 2 3 bottom at the tip of that triangle. This isn't going to just sort of lollygag sideways and slowly up. It's going to be doing something significant. We'll take a look at Poly. It's going somewhere. Look at the volume in that. Wow. And it's pulled back and just letting us lollygaggers get in there before it's going to continue and go up really great looking chart. I love it, and I don't have space for it in my thing right now. This is a 1, 2, 3. We already marked it as a hold. Really, it should have been an alert. I was a little early on the hold there. Yeah, the moving averages haven't crossed over and all that kind of stuff. It's close enough. I'll leave it as a hold. It's an alert. It's so close that it's back and forth. Quantum, it's not back and forth. This one really blasted off. So we've got that as a hold. Rep. Is this going up? Did I click it correctly? Rep, it looks like it's going up. Right? And a break above this level would be confirmation of that, but it's looking bullish. So I'll leave it marked as green. SBD has been, it's going up. Look at the volume of whatever's going on here. The chart's telling me this is a hold and not playing games either. This is a huge project. There's my lullaby again. Pardon me. Poly just looks like VE chain. I'm not sure of VE chain. Is that something on Binance? Okay. Coin goes to a hold. Not quite a trading signal, but it looks bullish. It's coming up out of key levels. It hasn't got the volume of some of the other coins, though. It's got some of those pre-pump buying volumes, but not as much as some of the other coins going on. So if I was to sort them into my favorites, then I wouldn't put that up as my favorite. SNT, we already marked this one as a hold, and look at Bitcoin looking strong in the background there. Oh, I see. You wanted me to take a look at hot BTC. Well, there's a messy chart. Look what I did to that. This is Bitcoin. Just take a peek at the 5-minute bars to see what's going on here. And then we'll go over to hot. Hot. Refresh the page. All right, so hot is just taking off out of a trend consolidation continuation pattern. We all know that you can have the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, and as things break above that 1, 2, 3, there's our buy signal on just a major trend following idea. But often when in a trend, prices will go up and then they'll pull back a little bit, then they'll go up and they'll pull back a little bit. And when they pull back a little bit, they often will come back to the 50% level. Isn't that coincidental that this is so close to the 50% level here? It's sort of like a horoscope, these Fibonacci's. You can fit them to whatever you're trading. But anyway, now we have a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation occurring on this pullback. This is what I like to see. The 1, 2, 3, then the break above it. There is our trend continuation formation. So if we are looking at a 12 to 18 month trend in these markets, then they're going to come up and they're going to pull back a little bit, come up and pull back a little bit. And each one of these is a place to add on to your position, or if you've missed out on the trade, wait for one of these consolidation formations to build up for you before you put on a trade or jump into a market. Don't get into something after it's already started to take off. You've got to sit back. You got to wait. This will happen. We'll see it happen over and over again. So hot is great. You could buy it now. It's so close to this whole takeoff thing. I think it's going to be going up considerably. I don't know anything about the market at all, but I bought some at, I don't know, 12 or 13 Satoshi, and I won't do anything with them for a long time. I'll be waiting for the market to tell me how correct I am. As we transition back, we'll skip in and take a look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin to see what's going on. Stellar over here. Now we'll continue to finish off our thing here before we go on to the Binance conspiracy theory about manipulation that only happens on Binance. What you can do to protect yourself and maybe even take advantage. Steam still is a hold. This is a beauty. I'm so glad that we're going through this day by day so that we could identify these patterns. They're so clear to see in the hindsight, but to know about them in foresight and to be watching for them as a habit, as we're watching for this. Is it? No. Okay, it failed. So we're watching for the next bottom. Is this it? Here we go. There's the buy signal. It came back, might have kicked us out. There's our trend continuation. There's another entry point. And there we are. We're finally into a positive trade, and there's nothing to do now. We're going to wait. But we had to work it all the way along with that same strategy, watching. Finally, we got that moment. We're good as gold now. Good as gold. Storage. Dun, dun, dun. Good as gold. Another one here where we were watching for it. This hasn't matured as much. That's such a great opportunity. Everything that's going on right now is just crazy, amazing. These bottom formations are insane. As this is taking off, let's zoom in on this. Here's another. Is this a trend? Wow. Just a terrible straight line. This one I was watching through the day as it came down here and was consolidating. Is this a top formation and going to break? Is this a top formation and going to break? Everything came right to that super tight point, but it really looks like it's going to be staging and going up significantly from here with all this trade volume. Wow. Strat. Oh, I don't even have to tell you. When you stretch this out to the long term, this is an enormous moment here. And I'm glad I hold some of that. Syscoin, this is going to take a long time for the Syscoin that I'm holding to come back to full value, because I bought some Syscoin, probably right in here, and put it into a paper wallet, put it in the safety deposit box in the bank, and now it has to come back quite a ways to get back to where I was. So I'll update you on that when it passes by. It'll be a little silent celebration. So what's going on with it now? It is such a strong alert with this great big ascending wedge triangle, but it doesn't have the volume underneath it that some of the other markets do. It is an alert. It probably could do some big moves, but it doesn't have enough volume in it to be crazy. Now Viacoin, of course, we've watched this for such a long time as it was an alert. We were watching all these big, I like these candles of buying much better than what we just finished looking at, Syscoin. This is really beautiful. And then, bang, there's that day where it's taken off, and it didn't even get back to retest these levels. And it's gathering to go higher. So this is wonderful, good to reinforce these patterns and now look for other markets that are making these same patterns. And there are a few of them in Binance that are just lining up so amazing right now. VTC, well, of course. Here's another. We could see the pre-pump patterns all setting up. Now you can see them. You see this big bowl shape inside this. If you average that out really nice, the 200 period moving average pretty much, you can see the buying, and then it relaxes, and then there's a big bunch of buying, and then it relaxes, and then all the supply is captured up, and up it goes. Up how high, we don't know. And what we're going to do is we're going to watch these moving averages to see where they cross over after it tops out and gives us the top formation. And we'll comment on that on the way as it goes to see if it's a cold fish or not. Counterparty, it's got to build into more, but it's doing something there. Surprised. Whoops. Let me put that back to neutral, not a hold. XEM. All right, this one passed our hold status, and it's come back a little bit, but it's fantastic. It's really great formation here. XMR. For a long time, I was poo-hoo on the privacy coins, but I'll have to say that I'm not correct on that. And these are looking like they're going to be taking off. I'm going to bump this up to a hold just because it's showing so much steady strength there. It may pull back before it goes up, but for bullishness index, I would call that a hold. XPM, if this XPM is a hold, then XMR is definitely a hold. Ripple, are you a hold versus BTC? Not quite. I'll leave it as an alert. But it's really got to jump up. Come on, Ripple. You're the one that's going to be saving the world banking system and moving trillions of dollars every day around the world. What's up? ZRX. Okay, this is building nicely. I'm going to leave it as neutral, not as an alert yet. And that will give us our study. Quickly back to BTC. Ethereum. Litecoin. Stellar. Give me more green on Stellar. Then I'm cheating and looking at BTS because this is one of my larger holdings and I want to watch this one take off. You know that I've got another monitor too. But you know that while you're watching the live game, you got to see the goal. Right, you got to watch it as that actually happens. It's great to see the replay, but I want to see the goal. Now, let's finish adding these things up, and then we can talk about the price manipulation on Binance. Wow, that was anticlimactic. The green just went sideways. Yellow went down a bit. Green went up a bit here, so that evened out. But like everything is a buy right now. Everything is a buy. When we look at this and we go down to the bottom here and we're scrolling across, it's either a buy or an alert. We have one neutral, two neutrals, three neutrals, and everything else is a buy or an alert right now. So this isn't the question what we should buy. You can buy anything, buy everything, a little bit of everything, and be more diversified rather than more specialized. The less familiar you are with the coin, the project, and everything. If you're just going by charts, diversify because you're just going by charts. Now, on to our subject at hand. Hot is looking great. Filter by BTC. I'm going to scroll down to Yo-Yo. Yo-Yo got hammered, and I'm going to clean up the chart a bit. Get rid of the background. Get rid of the volume. Moving averages. So we can just see. Hang up the spreadsheet and throw a dart. Hey Peter, good to have you here. I'll take a look at GRS in 1 second. Let me go over to Binance. ABCDE. GRS. It's pulled back a little bit and showing a little, it's going opposite to Bitcoin right now. How often is it opposite to Bitcoin? Or is it to do anything at all with Bitcoin and it's just that it's have its own pump and pullback phase? If you had purchased in back here as it's making these formations anywhere along here and you were a bag holder, then you'd put your stop loss above your entry and you'd sit back and let all this happen. It wouldn't be a worry at all. You know, all of this stuff, whatever it does, it just doesn't matter. It's already, you may even put your stop loss up here and just wait it out because we're in the beginning of a bull market. And so even though it's pulling back a little bit, it'll consolidate and probably go up considerably higher. So I would err on the side of long term for this right now. And if you bought in up in here, I want you to go over to IntroToCryptos.ca and register. I want you to download the free chapter from my book, and I want you to get the bull market watch spreadsheet that we're using here, and I want you to follow along, click on subscribe, and follow this channel for a long time so that you will learn not to do this. You will learn not to do this. You will know that's not the time to take any action. You will know that when it's sitting quiet and still and we're making these bottom formations, that's the time to take action. And you'll know that when it comes back after a big blast and it's made the consolidation just the way you want it, that's going to be the moment to take an action. Not when it's making a big move. It's too late. Sit back. Stop doing it. It's exciting, but don't jump in. Wait for it to do something like this and make you just the perfect triangle so that you can get in with risk control of there's my entry, there's my exit. Very tight risk control. No question if you're right and wrong, because it's come to such a beautiful chart formation for your entry. So this hopefully that helps in dealing with any part of this. Oh, I'm sorry. So let me just quickly redo that. Make sure it makes a formation that's just perfect for you. So you wait for that market to come into a formation that gives you just the right entry and exit levels that are really clear. You know exactly when you're right and when you're wrong, and only trade a market that has made a big move and it's consolidated perfectly for you. You know that it's going to happen. Now the matter is to wait for it and wait for it. And if you don't really believe it's going to happen, then following this channel day after day is going to build those beliefs inside your brain. You'll get the pattern recognition for it. You'll understand how long it takes, and you'll, over the years, this stuff will make you wealthy. Now, here's something that is troubling. This is troubling because if you had had your stop losses at any rational place with yo-yo, you would have lost all of your yo-yo. And I have yo-yo, but I didn't lose mine because I didn't have a stop loss below the market. Instead, I have my stops layered out above the market. So I have 60% of the coin that I purchased layered out. Oh, sure, that works good. Here, 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 here. And I'm just eyeballing it to say whereabouts my stop losses would be. So I have 40% of my coin in my hand, not on order, and I have 60% of it set out on sell orders already way above the market. And as I was doing this, I found that there was a maximum ceiling of where I could put my orders. And it's the same thing down to the bottom side. There's a maximum where you can put your buy orders down below. And so people are putting their stop losses right where you should be. Then the bots are selling it right down because they can do the mathematics to see exactly how much they need to do to hit everybody's stop losses that are on the books. After all those stop losses are hit, prices, they automatically sell. There's no one there to buy it because the market didn't allow you to put a buy order way down there. But the bots that are manipulating this, they are computerized. So they are able to rush sell orders down below these markets as all of those stop losses, sell orders are being filled. So they are rushing their buy orders way down below the market where no one else was able to put them and prepare in advance. This is only happening on Binance, and it is because they put that. I think it is, I'm speculating, this is a conspiracy theory. I'm conspirizing that it's because they don't let you to put your orders at wild, crazy levels that they don't have any down there. It's mathematical. You can figure out exactly where that happens. And we've got a specific journal in our part in our Discord chat that is for this kind of explosive move market. We call it a popcorn market, but it's a popcorn market for the top side. Something like I would expect to see in Civic Coin coming up. A big, huge blast to the upside and then a retracement all the way back down, like popcorn, up and down. And so in there we're studying, and let me scroll all the way down to another example of this very same manipulation. Look at what's going on here. So when I zoom in and we ignore this, well, this is a popcorn move to the upside. And of course, we all like these ones, but these ones we call manipulation, and they're bad. They're pre-planned, they're bot-driven, and it's another example of what we just saw in Yo-Yo coin. Let's grab another example. Stratus. Big, nasty candle that cleaned everybody out, and then the market pumped right after that. Coincidental? I don't know. But there are a number of them like that. BNT also took a big blast. And I didn't get these correct in order, otherwise I would have not. BNT took it on both sides right away. And this really shakes out the market. This really, if you're just a small trader, you've lost your position in that and could lose a considerable amount of money on that. And so this is the kind of manipulation that we're seeing going on. The reason, if we go back to Ardor, we can see this big thing here, the very beginning in January 7th, 8th, 9th. Now we'll go over to Poloniex and zoom back to January 9th. There's nothing. We don't see any of that big candle to the downside. This market wasn't hit at all. It was strictly a Binance job. Can you get filled with a buy order way down there? I'm speculating. I don't know, because when I was doing up my popcorn orders, I was setting them up to the top side. And so I was, trying to look at the left side of the chart to see historical levels, and I would set my sell orders just under support and resistance from the past. But I found in several of them that when I tried to set my order up where I wanted to, it said no, I couldn't do it. And so I kept trying a little lower, a little lower, a little lower, and I figured out that there was a maximum cap that they let you put your orders, whatever it was. And I don't know. I'm just talking to whatever the cap was. And if they have that, they may have that cap to the bottom side too. So then you have, if I was to clear all this stuff off and draw a bell curve of where people's sell orders would be, we would have lots of the sell orders would be right here, just below support and resistance levels, and then they would fade off like this. But Binance has that bottom fade cutoff. We can't have the stragglers way down here keeping buy orders, and some people would have larger buy orders if it does spike down. Somebody needs a new muffler on their car. So this is what I'm speculating, is that because they are limiting how far you can put your orders, maybe this is giving these bots the advantage they need in order to set up these kind of jobs. And they are doing it systematically on market after market, manipulating it. Okay, so it lets you set your order 10 times up and 10 times down. Did this go down 10 times? No. Shift. Click. Not 90%. So 90% would be 1/10. Could be blowing a hole in my conspiracy theory, but I am only seeing this manipulation and these wicks to the downside. They're nasty. I'm only seeing these on Binance. And it was just because this morning when I got up and I got to our Discord chat, we're checking out things. One of the guys said, "Hey, did you see what happened in Yo-Yo?" And I said, "No." I quickly went and took a look. And it's because of the strategy I'm using, I know that these big wicks happen to the top side and to the bottom side. And I've seen them happen many, many times where I had my stop loss down below there. I got wicked out and then the market took off without me. I'm down 30-40% on my trade and the market is blasting where I should have been up 40-50% on my trade. Really frustrating. And so I stopped putting any stop losses below the market, and I know I'm going to be checking it every day. And if I see these top formations, I know I've got time to close out my position. So I stopped putting these down below. It's too risky. You get killed with it. And I started putting them up above like an insurance policy. Just in case it does go, I want to profit from it and without having to keep watching the charts. So I'll wake up in the morning sometimes, like we saw on Bancor Network token, when it took off. I wake up in the morning and prices have done something like this. I've got to sell. I've got some extra Bitcoin now that I can reevaluate. Do I put that back into this market or do I diversify into something else that looks like a great chart formation? It's great. Yes, Litecoin and Bitcoin got some big moves yesterday for sure. They were freaking people out. Bitcoin's taken off right now. But that's just volatility. And we're talking about this. Give me the button. And we're talking about this spot right here where it went up, spiked way down. This really cleaned up a lot of people as well, for sure. People who are trading high leverage and jumping in and out too close to the market get beat up by that stuff. And even now, as it's taking off, got to be watching the RSI. It looks great. This is a beautiful chart formation. The only thing that I'm not seeing that I need to see more, the whole market needs to see more, is this volume. It's got to pick up. And even this is small volume. Let me clear those off. Go into the 5-year view. We're still way down on volume. Way down on volume. But what was the volume like before the last run up? Let's go back and see. So we should be seeing something like this. So it's okay to have the volume we have, really low volume as we're coming down to these spots, really low volume, but we need to see something big happen. Something really big happen. Look how big this is compared to everything. That was the day. That's the biggest volume day. So if we have something that comes up into these levels, then we know we're on to something huge and the turnaround is coming. So this is phenomenal. Phenomenal to be watching it right this minute. Let's go into the 1-minute charts. Insane. So rewarding to be watching for it and then come to the minute, and awesome to be live as we're getting this breakout. Look at Stellar also making some moves here. Snow, hey, good to have you here. When did you change this channel from Lumber City to IntroToCryptos, by the way? Took a break from cryptos in 2018. Thought you deleted my yes, I changed the name. When I changed the domain name, I bought that IntroToCryptos domain. And last year, at about this time, I hired a web design company to build a new website for me, paid $13,000 and got nothing out of it. It was a terrible disaster. My worst trade ever. And so I restarted the website and I changed the name from Lumbered City to IntroToCryptos so that it's more on branding for what we're talking about now. Because for those of you who are watching IntroToCryptos, and you don't know the old name, it was based on the game RuneScape. I was teaching youth how to trade like a stock trader inside the game of RuneScape, where you can buy and sell items on the grand exchange in the game. You can buy low and sell high, and they have charts. Here we are. So we have charts of items inside the game. So let's go take a look at some of the metals. I have no idea what the prices are going to be, but let's go take a look at iron ore. And we can see the price chart over time had a descending 1, 2, 3 bottom formation, and it's come up and done fantastic. You know, a good 50% on that trade or more just since January after it's made this bottom formation. And maybe they made a change in the game that announced a difference in the supply. You know, people can get more if you do something with iron ore, so the supply changes, the demand changes, and the price goes up for months, just like we'll see in the cryptocurrencies. And you can go through all of these markets, find out the bottom formations, buy low, sell high. And I went from 13 million gold pieces in the game to several billion gold pieces. I became insanely rich inside the game, playing these very same patterns that we are watching right now in the cryptocurrencies. Right now, we're watching them take off. And so I became a multi-billionaire in the game of RuneScape, and I would be very tickled to become a multi-millionaire in the game of life. And that this is it. So one of the reasons I'm so passionate about this is because I did spend a lot of years studying, getting ready. So now to have it working for me is phenomenal. And there's so much abundance out there that it doesn't matter if I share it with thousands of people, we can all still make money, and it'll change all of our lives, all of our families' lives. The quality of life that it changes by learning that money works for you. We're not just going to be stuck with cryptocurrencies. We could actually play RuneScape and get rich in that game now. I'm kidding. But really, there's a lot of kids who learned how to merchant in RuneScape who are now in their mid-20s who have the understanding of how to buy low and sell high. They understand how price manipulation works. They've seen it work inside this game. You can manipulate the prices here. You can get groups together to do mass buyouts and manipulate the prices and make incredible fortunes. And now you can see this stuff working for cryptocurrencies. It's so exciting. But we've pretty much gone through everything. If you've got something you'd like me to take a look at, we can. Other than that, it's pretty much just like hang around at the water cooler and watch Bitcoin prices take off right now. So I'm super keen to see Stellar go. I've got a little chunk of that stuff. BitShares is another one that I've got a nice chunk of. So to see this one building up to take off is really rewarding as well. Made Safe, I've been holding way too much of that for way too long, so I'll keep holding. Well, thank you, Snow. I didn't stay steady at doing my videos for a regular long time. I did them intermittently, and now I'm just staying steady at it. So I hope I get the word out there to more people, and more people go back and watch all of the old videos. Hey, SWAT Squad, good to have you here. Want to take a look at ICX. ICX. Stripped out just to the basics, we can see that this has come up and set above the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. It's not a perfect 1, 2, 3 bottom formation here, but that prices have come out of this bottom, hesitated here, is great because it gives you a really clean, let me clear that off, it gives you a really clean spot to make a judgment on this. And that's what I'm always watching for, is that's the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation gives you that really clean spot to make a judgment on the market. It's a clean, exact moment. This is the 1-day bar. So if I go into the 3-month view, sure, we can see the number 1 point. We can see it consolidating here. Really fantastic. When it broke above this, it's a buy signal. It came back and reset. Now it's making a consolidation here, so it could be an add-on. But when you look at the longer term view of it, there's lots of time. Oh, goodness. Great. Also cool to visualize real-time BTC trades. Preview advocatoterminal.com. Yeah, it is. And a waste of time. It is entertaining and it's great to watch, but Snow says it's fun to watch the videos back from the beginning of 2016 and end of 2015. How things have changed in a few years. Yeah. I kind of knew how fast money can move, but 2017 took me by surprise too. At the beginning of 2017, I remember it went from $5,000 to $7,500, and it was like that was a huge increase in my money. And I remember I was going to the gym with a buddy, and we're sitting in the sauna afterwards, and I was like giddy and kind of wanting to tell him, but feeling silly to say how much my thing has just increased. And then it went from $7,500 to $10,000, and within 5 months, it was over $100,000. That 10 went to 100,000. So you can bet I'm studying this stuff hard, because after that, it went from 100,000 to 500,000 within another 6 months, and I could have made much, much more. So this time, you know why I'm putting the hard work in here, and I'm happy to share it because your success doesn't limit mine. In fact, it helps me by having you guys here to follow along and to be regular at this and study this hard. We're going to make some phenomenal profits. And I very much appreciate you guys being here. And Snow, thank you very much for the comments and bringing us back down memory lane where this all started from. Actually, it was from 1995 when I first started out studying this stuff. March 3rd of 1995, maybe the March 5th of 1995, when I could finally afford the course that started me out on all this. How do I get the energy to stay consistent? It's a little bit of obsession. There's a little bit of OCD. It may not be healthy. You may not want it quite this way. But I do this full time. This is my job. This is what I do. So I don't work a job. I'm very fortunate to have not had I only worked 1 year as a job since 2001. I've always been a freelance, independent web developer and stuff. And now cryptocurrencies have helped me transition to just doing cryptocurrencies. So because I watched the top formations when things topped out last January and they were making top formations, I was selling hundreds of thousands of dollars of cryptocurrencies. I just wish I would have bought that bar of gold that I wanted to buy. Next time, as this goes up, I've got my eye on a bar of gold. Anyway, I'm going to sign off. Got to get a glass of water, have a snack, and get ready for morning yoga. Anyway, cheers, guys. Thanks again for tuning in. So happy to see all of these things breaking out. Can't wait to see where this all turns out for in the morning. Actually, what's Doge doing? Okay, nothing yet. Cheers. High five. Thanks again for all the thumbs up. That's awesome. Where's my button?